Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with my review for Sinister 2. I figured I'd go ahead and jump into the second film since I did the first one not too long ago. I'm building up to the Annabelle review, the new film. Just to go ahead and say it, I'm kind of two minds about this film. The first time I watched it, it's kind of a passable movie. If you judge it on its own, it'd probably be like a low 2 stars. It's passable. But as a sequel to the first movie, which was really scary, this is easily a 1-star film. It sucks. The deputy from the last movie, the guy that played Deputy So-and-so, he's good. He's the best thing about this movie, in my opinion. But it feels out of place to have him as the star here because he was like a side character in the first one. Feels weird to have him as the star here. Basically, he's going around like burning down these places to stop the hauntings or whatever by the demon from the first movie. And there's this family that lives in his house that he wants to help, and it's this woman and these 2 kids, her 2 sons, I mean, and this movie's told from the ghost children point of view, which I appreciate that they want to do something different as compared to the first movie. But the problem is they're obviously ripping off Children of the Corn, and it feels so much like Children of the Corn that it doesn't even feel like Sinister anymore for the majority of the movie. And they try to get one kid, but they're really just doing it because they want to lure in his more evil brother to make him jealous of the other one, so he'll want to kill him or whatever. But it kind of comes out of nowhere that this kid is like this psychotic that he wants to kill his whole family. It just feels weird, and the way they're trying to like coax the boy into watching the videos to do the killing, it just feels weird. It doesn't work, and it's not scary. That's the biggest problem with this movie. It is not scary. It's not scary to see a bunch of ghost kids walk around trying to convince a kid to murder his family. It's just not intimidating. They just look like Children of the Corn rejects. They just look like people from Children of the Corn. Even the acting is not even bad in the movie. It's just not scary. That's the problem with this movie. If I judge this film as like its own film, like not even referencing the first Sinister, just looking at this as its own movie, then yeah, it'd probably be a low 2-star film. But as a sequel to Sinister, this sucks. It isn't scary at all. One thing leads to another. The abusive dad or whatever tries to like get the kids back, and the deputy so-and-so is there, and he goes up to the guy, and apparently this abusive dad has like half the sheriff's department in his pocket, but of course the deputy knows how it works, and he knows he can't legally take the kids. It was kind of a cool scene of how he like outwits them. It was pretty cool, and the actor's charming. He does a good job. He's the best thing in the movie, but it feels weird having him as the lead. That's the problem with the movie. With his character is he's not lead character material. That's the problem. He would be more like sidekick to the lead or whatever. You know, the likable guy that you care about that doesn't die, but it is not the main star either. It just feels awkward. One thing leads to another. You get to the end of the movie, he figures out it's the kids that are being possessed. The deputy shows up, runs the asshole kid over, and somehow the asshole kid survives, and then you get this really laughable ending climax where the asshole kid is like running around with a corn sickle, and he slices off 2 of the deputy's fingers, and we're supposed to believe that he's got the mom and the deputy on the run, and we're supposed to believe they're in trouble when they could easily overpower him. Even with 2 fingers sliced off, all the deputy's got to do is take his other hand and punch the little bastard right in the face, and it'd be the end of the damn movie. That's the problem. It doesn't gel. It doesn't feel right here. It feels hokey. It just doesn't mesh. It doesn't have the tightness of the first film. It's not scary. That's the biggest problem with this film. It's just there's nothing to it. I mean, horror-wise, there's no scares here. The first film was scary. This film is totally off the ball. Not. It could just be. And the problem is for the majority of the movie, it doesn't even feel like Sinister. It feels like Children of the Corn. Well, whatever, you know, it feels like one of those movies. But anyway, you get to the end, the asshole kid fails. Well, the asshole kid does kill his abusive dad. He sets him on fire. Nobody cares about him, though. Good riddance. But he tries to kill the rest of them, and he fails at it. And so the Slipknot reject monster takes his soul and eats it or whatever, and just evaporates him because of his failures. So he's not he just destroys him. And so they get away, and then you get one last scare at the end of the movie. It's pretty much a happy ending in this one. And the last scare at the end of the movie is the deputy walks into his hotel room to get some stuff, and then the Slipknot demon like pops out in front of the camera at the last second, like woo, you know, one last scare, and it's just tacky. It's silly. And if they ever make a third one, they need to make a third one. They need to get a whole new story. What I hope they don't do, but what I think they probably will end up doing, is a prequel that takes place long before, way back in the day to where all this crap first started. I think they'll end up doing a prequel. I wouldn't mind seeing a prequel, but I want the story kind of wrapped up first before they go back in time and do stuff like that. Because I don't want this franchise to end up like Sinister, where we're just getting, not Sinister, but Insidious, where we're just getting constant prequel, instead of a movie that takes place in current time. I hate that constant prequel shit. But anyway, yeah, 1 star. If I judged it on its own, it'd be low 2. It'd be watchable. But as a sequel to Sinister, it sucks. Yeah, so all in all, I'll see you guys again with Annabelle. I'll see you guys again with the next video.